Hello, everyone. This is Suzanne Knapp-Nicole from Police Science Doctor. I'm today again broadcasting from Middlesex University where I work, however, not in the big atrium, which was very, very noisy. And I checked the recording later. It was pretty bad sound quality. So I'm actually in my office here at work. Hopefully none of my colleagues are going to pop in. I share my office with two other colleagues. So hopefully I'll be able to get through this broadcast without any disturbances. So again, police science snippets, what are they? Every week I talk to you guys here on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on the Police Science Doctor channels. And the purpose is to inform you of research findings that are relevant to your profession. So you may be a police officer, law enforcement, intelligence analyst, intelligence worker, military, you may be a student in the field. And there's a lot of research being published all the time. And the problem is that much of that research is not getting to frontline, especially if you are working in law enforcement. That is the problem that Police Science Doctor is trying to help to solve. So I go through research articles every week and I try to find 3 snippets that I think are going to be of use to you in some kind of way, that are practical and not too abstract. It's quite difficult to find these. So if you come across research that you think is suitable to be featured on here, please do send it to me. Okay, I do need it. It's very, very difficult to find 3 even every week for you. Hopefully you will find these useful. So the first one that I want to bring to you today is about genuine versus fabricated remorse. When analyzing video recorded statements of offenders' remorse, it was found that descriptions of falsified remorse were associated with a greater range of emotional expressions compared to genuine remorse. So false statement, genuine statement. False has greater range of emotional expressions, okay? And the genuine ones, not so much. Negative emotions were more commonly followed by other emotions in the fabricated ones, rather than returning to neutral. So one emotion is described or expressed and another emotion, rather than returning to neutral as the genuine ones would do. Participants also exhibited more speech hesitations while being deceptive relative to genuine. Okay, so these are the difference when offenders were being assessed, or when they were basically talking about the remote. This was usually for the sentencing purposes. Second study I want to talk to you about today is about female versus male sex offenders. It was found that there's a bias towards leniency in judicial systems for female sex offenders. They tend to receive shorter sentences than their male counterparts and are less likely to be sentenced to prison, potentially due to their vulnerability, poor mental health, and adverse backgrounds. So female offenders usually have very different trajectories that lead them into crime than males. Often there's a lot more a very, very high rate of history of abuse, neglect, and victimization that leads to an offending path for females, more so than for males even. Also, judges' perception of the offender's behavior, of the women's behavior, was described as depraved and cruel, whereas males' similar behavior was not described in such an emotive way. So that was the finding of that study. And as always, I email these 3 snippets with the link to the original research to everyone who's on the free Police Science Doctor email list. If you are not already on there, you can get on there anytime, and you can also leave it at any time, okay? So there's no risk to you involved. You can join it for a while and see if it's of any use to you. Just Google Police Science and then go to Police Science Doctor and put your details into the form that's at the bottom of every page, or it actually pops up. And then you can get these emailed to you every Tuesday as well. And the third and last snippet for today is about intimate partner violence and health conditions or health outcomes. A number of different forms of intimate partner violence, such as sexual, physical, psychological violence, but also stalking and polyvictimization, as in, for example, stalking and sexual violence, or physical and psychological violence, or a combination of them, they have adverse health outcomes for victims. Female penetrative sexual victimization and male stalking victimization were associated with the most health conditions, most health problems. For each health condition, a significant linear trend indicated that as the number of forms of IPV experienced increased, so the more different of these different forms of victimizations you have, the prevalence of each health condition increased as well. Okay, so the more forms of victimization you have, the more different health problems you have as well, with a few exceptions for males. So obviously very poignant research here, very important to find out about the health conditions and the problems it can cause to victims to be victimized by their partners. So these were the snippets for today. I hope you found them useful. And again, I hope to see you join the Police Science Doctor email list soon if you haven't already. And I will see you again next week. Until then, I hope you remain well. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this content useful. You can get access to each episode's transcript with key learning points, timestamps, and references if you get yourself onto my mailing list. Just go to the main website on policesciencedoctor.com, and on the bottom of each page you will find a sign-up form for notifications of new content. Just enter your first name, your preferred email address, and the type of organization you work for. You will not get any spam. This is just for me to let you know about new content and for you to get access to all the transcripts.